Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Hunter, I am playing what I want to play. Hunter gave me a dealer's choice for the month, and this is a deck that I've played a lot in the past. It's been extremely popular, and I've gotten a lot of requests for it, and this is Ninjas. Blue-black Ninjas, built around Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow. Yuriko, of course, has the ninjutsu mechanic, which is when a creature goes unblocked, you may pay the ninjutsu cost to return that creature to your hand and put the ninja from your hand into play in its place before combat damage is dealt. I guess the flavor of that is you thought a changeling outcast was attacking you, but once it got past your defenses, it revealed itself to be an actual ninja assassin instead. Surprise! Anyway, that's what ninjutsu does. Yuriko, whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library, put it in your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's mana value. So it's like a reverse Dark Confidant, where you get the card and they lose the life. Ingenious Infiltrator. Whenever a ninja deals damage to a player, draw a card. Notice that they each say when a ninja, not when this. So if Yuriko and Ingenious Infiltrator hit together, Ingenious Infiltrator will draw 2 cards, and Yuriko will flip 2 cards. Pretty insane. The enablers in the deck are Ornithopter, 0 mana, flying creature, hard to block that one on turn 1. Changeling Outcast, literally unblockable. And where the beauty of this deck starts to come together on the edges here, Changeling Outcast is a ninja itself because it has Changeling, so it will count if you already have a Yuriko or Infiltrator in play as a ninja that deals combat damage. And if you don't, Retrofitter Foundry. This is the original deck that was able to use Retrofitter Foundry before Urza Saga was printed. This is the original gangster, as they say. Retrofitter Foundry's third ability is tap, sacrifice a Thopter, create a 4/4 construct. Ornithopter is a Thopter. Changeling Outcast, because it is a changeling, is also a Thopter. So after these 2 enablers get your ninjas online, you can flip them into 4/4s to continue the beatdown. And if the game gets grindy, Retrofitter Foundry, as we've all seen at this point with Urza Saga's decks, this can take over a stalled board state very quickly with just 2 or 3 mana. And if you ever get up to 5 mana, you're just running circles around the tournament venue. Supporting cast is cards you'd expect. Ponder, Brainstorm, some removal. Baleful Strix is very good at being a thing people don't want to block, and also a thing that's worth picking up and playing again, because it has an ETB trigger. 2 days. That might seem like a funny number, but there are only 4, 5, 6 islands in the deck. There's 3 basic swamps to go with your 2 dazes. That's tough. But really, this deck, its only goal is enabler on 1, ninja on 2. You need blue-black in play. Like, you never want to daze something on turn 1, because then your ninja is set back for a full turn. There's no way to accelerate mana. There's no Wasteland in this deck. There's no Urza Saga in this deck, because all of your lands need to make blue or black, because your only goal is to connect with a ninja on turn 2 and begin the snowball effect. That's how the deck is constructed. Big fan of that. New technology in this deck since the last time I played it: Murktide Regent and Snuff Out. Snuff Out is not new technology. It's been around since Mercadian Mask. It's been a legacy staple, a pauper staple over the years. It's new to this deck because if you flip it off Yuriko, your opponent takes 4. That's pretty nice. Also, it's a free spell, which is really important in interacting with the Ragavan decks these days. So Snuff Out is new to the deck since the last time I played it. And Murktide Regent. This is a big boy deal 7 if you flip it off Yuriko, and also you could just pivot into winning the game with a big animal later on. The Ninja deck is very good at snowballing card advantage, but something like Tarmogoyf can just brick it. Like, just a bigger creature than your 2/3 and 1/3 can become a problem. So Murktide Regent is a pretty cool innovation, just a 1-of in the deck, and that can show up and just be an 8/8 and win the game. That's the Ninja deck. Let's go be super sneaky and assassinate some opponents. I'm on the draw in the first round. I have a hand that doesn't have an enabler. It does have 3 ninjas, and being on the draw, there are 8 hits on my draw step plus ponder. I can get 3 more looks at a 4-outer. So like Changeling Outcast is a great first draw, and then I could ponder into Ornithopter and still set up a turn 2 ninja. I'm actually going to keep this hand. This is on the edge. I wouldn't fault anyone for mulling this. Generally, I tell people never be afraid of 6, and I just think that this hand has just enough play to it, even though I'm not excited about it. Uh-oh, a Bloodstained Mire. Nobody playing Bloodstained Mire is up to any good. Fetch for Volcanic Island. Right, we're probably playing against Storm. There's a small chance it's just Grixis control. That's not a really popular deck these days. Bloodstained Mire is usually just in Reanimator decks or Storm decks. I did not shuffle their Ponder. On a Ponder of my own. Which is not really what I was looking for, but now I have more hits off my Ponder. Before it was like Ornithopter or Bust. Now I'll take a Force of Will, given what we've seen so far. This could also be a Delver deck, I guess, technically. If it's like the 4 Volk 2 Steam Vents Delver deck, then Bloodstained Mire is the same as any other fetch land. Okay, interesting. Daze. This is not a Storm deck. It might be a Delver deck. Okay. Alright, yeah, they're just using Bloodstained Mire as their fetch. Clever. I fell for it. Okay, so I can Ponder first to make sure Ponder resolves. Like, I can play around Daze with one of these spells, but not the other. I think I want the Fatal Push to resolve. You know, I want them both to resolve, but I'm gonna choose to play around Daze with the Fatal Push. Because if they want to Daze this Ponder when they don't have a board, that's pretty bad for them. Okay, I found an Enabler and a Counterspell. I'll take these. So I'm at the point where I'm basically casting Yuriko. Don't even need the Enabler anymore. It's kind of awkward that I just hung my Changeling Outcast out into a Ragavan. Right, that's not what they're doing. Oh, this boy is delirious. Okay, so I can just cast Yuriko. My top card is a land. Is that something I want? If I just cast Yuriko, what happens? I'm playing into Daze, basically, is what happens. Alright, yeah, I don't need to do that. I'll just play my Outcast and pass the turn. They appear to be some sort of Grixis Delver. If not Delver, some sort of Grixis Tempo. Kind of scary, not gonna lie. They probably have a lot of removal in their deck. I'm gonna have to Force a Will any removal spell here. Just really want to start connecting with Yuriko. Iteration. Okay, so they played their land drop and then played Iteration. So this Iteration's a little wonky. I'll take it though. They're playing around Daze, which makes sense. I do have some of them in my deck. They exiled Scalding Tarn, so playing their land drop first actually did cost them a card. I'm gonna fetch in the end step because I know I don't want that land on top. Ooh, Murky Rege. Oh, let's do this thing. First ninjutsu sighting of the day. Ninjutsu. I think if they had Lightning Bolt, they would have cast it already. Ooh, flip Snuff out. Hell yeah. That's how you do it. And I can play around Daze with Snuff out, so I will. Just gonna snuff this thing. Taking 4 life against a deck like this isn't ideal, obviously, but I'm gonna take 3 anyway, so might as well fire it in. Oh, they Force a Will that. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a deal. I'm gonna save my force. I can do better. I'm bearing down with Yuriko. They let me remove their creature, and then they're like, Force of Will, Changeling Outcast? What? It looks like they got their own Murktide. I'm gonna force that, pitching Yuriko. Murktide Regent is one of the few cards in a Delver matchup that's worth a Force of Will in general. Good thing they fought over my 1/1 though. Here comes Yuriko again, and then I can Murktide plus Changeling Outcast, second main. And now I'm also playing around Daze. This worked out pretty well. Force, Snuff Out, Ponder, Fatal Push, and Ponder. Alright, I did have all 5. Bang! This is going to be hard to lose. Alright, we did it. The strength of Yuriko. You love to see it. Fatal Push definitely coming in. There's Blue Elemental Blast and Hydro Blast in the sideboard that are basically for this matchup, like the Ragavan Dragon's Rage Channeler. And this gets extra value against stuff like Sneak Attack and whatever, but this is for Ragavan and Dragon Rage Channeler, make no mistake. Narset is kind of interesting, but we're playing against a Daze Pyroblast deck, so I'm not like in love with Narset. I'm just making my tier list here. I'm not considering these 7 cards on the left, so these cards on the right. I'm definitely making room for these 3. I would like these 2, the Flusters, and then the Plague Engineer and Narset in that order are how I'm prioritizing all my spells here. I don't think I want Force of Will in the deck at all. Between the black removal and the Hydroblast and stuff, there's not many things I need to Force of Will. Like Murderous Cut and the Snuff Outs can get Murktide Regent, Brazen Borrower can get Murktide Regent, Baleful Strix and block it. Like that's really enough for that. Retrofitter Foundry can block it for a long time. I do like my Murktide Regent. Alright, it looks like there's only 4 cards I want to actively cut from the deck here. I do like the 2 Dazes. They're better on the play than on the draw, but I guess is Flusterstorm better than Daze in this position? On the play, I think I like Daze better. But I like Fluster on the draw. The threats out of this deck that we saw, Dragon's Rage Channeler, eventually will be a 3/3 and get out of Plague Engineer range. I assume Ragavan's in there somewhere, but alright, this is what I'm going to do. Just didn't find room for the Narset and the Plague Engineer, and keeping your plan proactive and dense is more important than thinking about any little thing they could do. My hand needs black mana, but I have an enabler, I have a payoff, I have things to do with my mana, removal spells. This is a keep. Ornithopter is pretty dope because I can just put it in front of Dragon's Rage Channeler for a while until it becomes a 3/3. I can just block. I also have Thopter Foundry. On turn 1, I can just make a 4/4, which is bigger than anything they're going to present for a long time. Opponent Maul to 6. Good start. I like being up 2 cards. I'm glad they didn't start on a threat too. That means my plan is to cast Retrofitter Foundry and then cast Ornithopter in that order. Like if they're going to Daze Retrofitter Foundry, then I want them to commit to that before they know I have a 4/4 waiting. Foundry just resolved easily, so now there's Ornithopter. It can be a 4/4 if it wants to be. Okay, there's the DRC. Alright, I really hope they cast a Lightning Bolt right now. Don't know how this works. Nope. They know how this works. A 4/4 is really hard for them to beat, though. Like their removal is mostly Lightning Bolt. I think I'm just going to make the 4/4 and get to work. Because my hand's pretty reactive with the Blue Blast and then the pair of Brainstorms. Yeah, I'm just going straight to Construct Town. Draw a Swamp and make this easy. Nice. So I'm going to attack for 4, see what they want to do about that. They just want to take 4. Reasonable. I can Brainstorm or I can just be ready to Blue Blast. I could also just make a Servo and block. I'm going to make a Servo. I should fetch now, though, which makes my Brainstorms a little worse. Yeah, but I don't want to get abraded in response. I'm just going to fetch a basic Swamp and then pass the turn. This lets them get a little bit of value if they have some spells. Like they get the Surveils, which if I kill this thing on my turn, doesn't happen. But I think this leaves the most options open. Hey, look, they had an Abrade. That's the thing I said. Do I want to make a Servo on the way out and just let whatever else is going to happen this turn happen? I could try to Blue Blast the Abrade. I think I just want to make a Servo, take my 2-for-1. And they could have Meltdown in their deck, which would be a problem, but Meltdown would have swept up the Foundry as well. So if they had Meltdown in their hand, they wouldn't have used Abrade there. I'm still winning this race. And I don't mind picking up the servo to get in with Infiltrator. They have 3 cards in their hand. Ooh, Baleful Strix is messed up. Really wanted to land there, but I'm going to brainstorm and see what happens with that. If they want to red blast this, that's fine. I got a lot of good blue spells in my hand. That land doesn't cast red blast. Uh-oh. Well, that's challenging. Murktide Regent's going to go back, and Baleful Strix is going to go back. I'm going to attack with my 2 creatures and play my other 2 creatures. I have Outcast and Ornithopter I can put into play. Thoppy. Outcast. And missing the land there's rough, but my board is pretty robust. Got no plan for a Murktide Regent. Guess I could attack, pick up, Outcast, make Infiltrator. Just gotta hope their hand isn't great. Oh, you're a Baleful Strix deck. That's cheating. That's my job. Okay, they have Murktide Regent. They started to tap mana, then stopped. Remembered they were about to lose Delirium, so they got in for their 3, and then second main they're going to play Murktide Regent. That's what appears to be happening here. There it is. 7/7. They didn't quite go all the way to 8/8. Interesting. They kept... Oh, they wanted to keep Delirium. Yeah, kept Delirium. Makes sense. Reasonable decision. Now it's time for me to make some decisions. I can cast Baleful Strix and just hope they don't have Daze in their hand. I can attack with just Changeling, Outcast, and then Ninjutsu or not. I could put them to 7 and leave all my blockers back, but their whole squad flies. That doesn't really matter. If I turn everything sideways, I'm guaranteed to get in with at least one of them, which I can infiltrate and draw 2 cards and deal 3 damage. That doesn't seem that great. I could brainstorm. I know my top card isn't helpful. I think I just want to put Strix into play. Attack with my Changeling Outcast, then cast Strix. I hope they don't have Daze. And missing that land last turn means I didn't get to Blue Blast. I don't get to hold up Fluster now. Strix is in play. It's at least a 2-for-1 already. Dragon's Rage Channeler has to fight. So if they don't remove Strix, they're gonna have to ram their Channeler into it. This is the first full value expressive iteration they're gonna get. They still have their land drop, and they have lots of mana around. Found a Lightning Bolt, that can clear the Strix. Yep. So they're attacking for 11, which puts me to 2 if I block nothing. Ornithopter's probably gonna chump block if they just turn all their shit sideways. Which I don't think they can really do because I have 4, 5, 6 damage in play, and I'm a ninja deck. Like, if Yuriko is in my hand and they attack with all their creatures, they just die. Blue. Is this another Murky? Oh yeah, it is. Alright, the second Murktide makes the first one absolutely enormous. Wait, how is this still Delirious? There are only 3 card types in their graveyard. Oh, there's only 3 cards, but one of them has 2 types. Yep, okay. I'm back with the program. So I am required to block the 11/11 because that is more than I have life points. Is there something we can string together here? All right, we can tread water. That's another blocker. I can just blue blast the Channeler, get in for 1. I think I have to brainstorm here. They have 1 card left in their hand. If I brainstorm and hit a blue source, if I brainstorm and don't hit a blue source, I literally die. If I brainstorm and do hit a blue source, there's also removal spells in my deck. Yeah, I'm going to brainstorm. Let's go. Come on, deck, help me out here. Yeah, Murderous Cut, found the blue source. Right, Murktide Regent's out. And I believe that Changeling Outcast is also out. And then play my backup Ornithopter. Fetch my blue source. And I think I want to Murderous Cut the bigger Murktide Regent first. Wait. Just check if I have lethal first. I don't. Yeah, if I killed the untapped one, I attack, they block, they take 2, yeah. And I don't have enough to ninja for fun and profit there. Okay, I'm gonna cut the big Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, get rid of that. And blue elemental blast. That. Back for 1 with my outcast. Even if they can remove Ornithopter, they're 1 damage short of lethal. It's getting pretty tight. And if they attack with Murktide Regent, yep, well, Expressive Iteration's a good last card in your hand. If they attack with Murktide Regent, it unlocks all of my constructs that can also party. If they find 2 bolts off of this, I'm dead. Wasteland, yeah, that card doesn't matter here. They kind of have to attack because this game is not advancing. Like, I am ahead on board, so they need to be turning things sideways, making me make decisions. Post-combat Ragavan, love to see it. If I just turn all my creatures sideways, they probably block the 2 other things. I could also just chip in. I could attack with Servo and Outcast. The Servo will get a trade with something, and the Outcast will connect. Alright, yeah, Ragavan's blocking that. I'm going to infiltrate with the other one. I got to draw some cards here. Move this game forward. Ooh, they had the red blast the whole time. Storm is 1. Wow, that Wasteland pays for the Flusterstorm. Okay. Alright, now I'm behind again. They are hellbent, though. It's time to ponder into Snuff Out. Changing Outcast, Ponder, Island. That's not it. Shuffle, show me the Snuff Out. Alright, well, I can put my Outcast back into play, but now I'm dead. Just hope they don't see the lethal line of attacking for 8. They saw it. Okay. Yeah, that was a good game. That could have gone either way in a variety of directions. Pretty cool stuff. Game 3. Go time. I'm going to bring Daze back in for one of the Flusterstorms now that I'm on the play. And I think that's the only change I'm going to make. Let's do it. I am on the play for game 3. I have the Ornithopter and a piece of interaction. Regrettably don't have blue-black, and my whole hand needs blue-black to pop off. I think this is a mulligan. It hurts, but wow, I wish that was a swamp. Here we go. Blue and black, enabler. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to send, I think, Murderous Cut to the bottom. And Blue Blast interacts with the things that I'm going to see sooner. Like the Ragavans and Deathrite, or Dragon Rage Channeler. Freudian slip there, the old Deathrite Channeler. Having the Underground Sea is a little worrisome. I would really like to play on basics, because we saw last game how mana hungry this deck is, and we're playing against a Wasteland deck. This deck has 7 basics in it. That's how serious they are about not getting basicked, or not getting wasted. Okay, that card doesn't cast Daze. That's a bad land in play, so I'm just going to get my Strix in while I know it's good. Found a Ninja. This is the power of ninjas. Like, they fired off that lightning bolt on this shitty thing, and I didn't even have a ninja to put in for it. In the past, playing this deck, I've had players force of will my turn 1 Ornithopter, and then I just play a second Ornithopter. That feels so good. Look at this. Just a Braid. Baleful Strix. Incredible. Turn 2, a Braid, Baleful Strix. At this point, I have to make sure I don't get cheesed by a dashed Ragavan, because they don't have a threat in play. I want to ponder and find a basic island, pretty much, is what I'm trying to do here. Yikes. That's a lot of good spells, but it does not do what I need it to. Uh-oh. Well, here's this. The good news is, if they Wasteland me, I can Murderous Cut. The bad news is, if they dash Ragavan, they're going to connect. Okay, cool. They don't know how dash works. They just put it into play. That's a relief. I can Brainstorm, try to hit. Even if they counter the Brainstorm, I can still Murderous Cut. So I think the Brainstorm is required to try to advance this game. Come on, deck. This is how it happens? Just like this? Okay. I'm going to put back... What do my next several turns look like? I'm going to cast Changeling Outcast and try to ninjutsu something. I'm going to Murderous Cut this turn. I'm going to put back... Alright, so what happens if Ragavan connects? I could actually let Ragavan connect and help clear these Brainstorm cards. So I could put Blue Elemental Blast on top, let them take it, or Ingenious Infiltrator. I don't need two of those. I already have Yuriko and Infiltrator. Oh shit, but then they'd have 4 mana. I can't let them cast that thing. Alright, never mind. It's not Infiltrator. I'm gonna let them have one of my blue blasts. Yeah. Glad I caught that 4 mana situation. I'm gonna cut now. They're on their turn, so they have to spend their own mana to interact with this, but they haven't drawn for turn yet. This is the spot I want to do this. Hardcast days, sure. Maybe I should have put Infiltrator on top. Because they would have either had to spend mana to interact with this, or... No, if they just picked up a land with days and replayed their land, they would have the 4 mana. Alright, no. Made the right call. Maybe they'll cast that and kill their Ragavan. That would be great. We lose on the spot to a Wasteland. The game ends immediately. So we're just going to hope they don't have it. Cracking a fetch. Uh-oh. Ponder's real bad for me. A lot of looks at Wasteland, and it's very clear that I'm open to it. Okay, Caracas. That's fine. It's really good against Yuriko, and also saves their Ragavan from my removal, but it's not Wasteland, so I'll take it. And I'm not going to Brainstorm right now. I'm just going to... I guess maybe I should Brainstorm right now. They don't have Red Blast up. Yeah, it's time. I am going to Brainstorm right now. We got to keep some movement forward here. Or they do have Red Blast up with Treasure. Okay. Ooh, that's a relief. Okay. If I put back Infiltrator and Yuriko... No, I don't want to do that. Put back the two... Oh yeah, I do want to put back Yuriko because she's not good right now. Put Yuriko on top. S. Yeah, Yuriko's a blank at the moment. Don't really want to let them have her with Ragavan. Do I want to Hydroblast? No. And if they end up with my Yuriko, that is pretty bad actually. So I'm gonna shuffle. Just get a blue land. And then I'm gonna let Ragavan hit me. I still think this Hydroblast can be used better. I'm just gonna roll the dice. Oh shit. Well, there's that. Now they have my ninja. Like, if this Hydroblast was gonna kill Ragavan, I'd probably use it. But because they have Caracas to pick it up, I just took the chance on getting hit there. My deck has Brazen Borrower in it, so I can get that Infiltrator back somehow. Arctide Regent. Okay, that's in. They have so much mana. Ragavan is such a monster. Oh, not interested in my ninja. That's lucky. Another Outcast. Okay, I'm going to play Strix here. I've played around Red Blast by keeping my Blue Blast. Red Blast was the card specifically I was keeping Hydroblast in hand to play around. This Brainstorm is looking for an answer. Let's just hope it doesn't find 2. Red Blast confirmed. Blue Blast confirmed. Just like Richard Garfield intended. And let's draw a land off this Strix. Not quite. Alright. Oh, Ragavan's going to connect. Guaranteed. I'm going to get in for my 1 because this creature can't block. And let's hope that they're... Okay. Do I want to trade Strix for Ragavan? How deadly is... No. I am going to make this block. I have black removal spells in my deck. Lots of them. Alright, they found Wasteland. I guess I already cast Cut, so it's basically just 2 Snuff Outs. It's not that many. It's less than I thought. Alright, Ornithopter's pretty gas, though. I can spend a turn developing. I think I need to Ponder here, actually. I just need to develop these lands better. Okay, I found a land. Do not shuffle. There's this. I can play Thopter, Outcast, or I can get in. Yeah, I'm going to get in. Do you have Stifle in your deck? Wow! What year is it? Okay. That's fine. Here's Ornithopter. There's Outcast. Can attack for 1. I'm not going to block Murktide Regent this turn. Because next, like, I can go to 7. Next turn, attack with my 3 creatures. Pick up Thopter. Draw 3 cards. Replay Thopter. Let's hope they shuffle this Ponder. That was a good Stifle. Like, really good. They chose to shuffle. Let's just hope there's a land or like some irrelevant brick over there. Okay, I'm not going to block. I'm going to 7. I'm playing to win here. I could play to win or play to not lose, and I'm playing to win. They can remove my Ornithopter. I think they would have done it before combat. If they can remove my Infiltrator, though, that's a problem. Here comes the Ninja Crunch. Didn't block. Pick up the Ornithopter. Deal 5, draw 3. Are we in? Okay, draw 3. Yuriko. Land. Arctide Regent. They're tapping black mana right now, which is a weird time to tap black mana, now that my creatures have all dealt damage. Surgical Extraction, targeting Ponder. Oh, I actually do have one of those in my hand. Okay. I mean, sure. Weird, but okay. Okay, they are, in fact, Hellbent and tapped out. Well, not tapped out, but they are Hellbent. So I get to at least Brainstorm, and I get to play the Thopter. Let's find that Snuff Out. Found the Snuff Out. It's happening. There's this. If I Snuff Out, I die to Lightning Bolt, so I should actually just pass. Block with Ornithopter, and I can hardcast Snuff Out next turn. Because if they bolt Ornithopter and try to get in, can they even attack? Yeah, they can't attack. They also can't not attack. So I'm going to attack and draw 3 more cards here. Got my own Murky Rage. Here come the jerks. All right, ninja shit is happening now. And I can Murktide Regent 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 spells in the graveyard. I could Brainstorm, then Murktide Regent. That seems fine. Cool. Put 2 of these back. And then Murktide Regent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now mine is bigger than yours, and I can Snuff Out if I need to. Should get Retrofitter in here too. Now they can daze my Snuff Out, but their hand would have to be like removal spell for Murktide Regent and daze. Exactly. Dashing Ragavan I don't care about. I can block that with a 4/4. Okay, sacrifice the Thopter, make a 4/4. Retrofitter Foundry, too good. Am I going to just eat your whole board for free? Looks like it. Ninjutsu! Picked up their Rag with Karakas. That was a good way to spend 3 mana. And they're dead. Tricksy little ninjas overcame some mana screw, some spell flood being stuck behind. Like, oh, good stuff. Thank you, ninjas. On to the next round. I'm on the draw in round number 2. I'm not the most excited about this hand, but it's also like really high upside. There's removal for creatures, force for spells, there's payoffs. I'm on the draw. I'm going to keep this. I think it might be reasonable to mulligan this, but just like last round, this is on the kind of hoping side. Like I need a land and an enabler. Start with a Ponder. Pondering into Ornithopter Swamp would be the dream here. Fatal Push and more lands. I think I want to draw the Prismatic Vista. I'm going to put Fatal Push 3rd down, because I'm likely to just draw all 3 of these cards. Just the way that this game has paced out, I didn't find an enabler. Is this the same opponent? Is this like Grixis tech, like the new hotness? What's going on here? Why have we played against this twice in a row? But now is definitely a good time to brainstorm. I know Fatal Push is on top. Okay, I don't want Underground Sea. And do I need 4 lands? Probably not. I'm going to fetch on their upkeep. Or nope, I'm going to fetch now. I'm going to let them surveil, then I'm going to fetch now. I just didn't want to get stifled after having seen it. I could snuff this out and play around daze, but I want to save Snuff Out for Murktide Regent. If they daze, they daze. There's a little decision point there of, do I want to let the brainstorm resolve where they won't know that I'm killing their creature when they make those decisions, but they might find a protection spell for the creature? Or do I want to do it before the brainstorm, which makes it more likely that my spell resolves? I'm going to snuff this out. Get you out of here. Not on my watch. Snuff Out, too good. It's like a $16 comment on Magic Online right now. It's nuts. But I mean, it's earning its pay. We just saw it. Yuriko, bigger than Ragavan. Got to get my girl into play here. The Grixis deck has 5 cards in hand. I don't have a lot of hope that Yuriko is going to be in play when I untap. Iteration. Yeah, I'm not going to force a will that. Between Force and Murderous Cut, I'm really just trying to connect with Yuriko at least once here. Get my card back off of her. Is this a Murktide Regent? Yes. Okay. That resolves. I have the cut, and I have the Force to back up my cut. Oh, and I have Snuff out. Do I Snuff here, or do I cut? I think I want to cut. I currently have mana, which I won't necessarily have in the future. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Yuriko's in there at least once. How do we do? Well, okay. Do still have my land drop for the turn. I have removal spell and force. When they made it clear last turn, they can't answer Yuriko. Now I have 4 mana, I can start casting Infiltrators. Alright, this is getting snuffed. Bang. Alright, Wasteland doesn't matter. Baleful Strix. I'm gonna Force of Will that. It feels kind of ugly, but at the same time, I'm gonna get that card back right away with Yuriko. Oh shit, I should have pre-combated Ingenious Infiltrator. It would have seen Yuriko even if it didn't connect itself and drawn an extra card. Yeah, that was bad. I missed a card there. Bummer. Okay. Feel better now. It wasn't resolving anyway. Another Murktide. Alright, this one's a 4/4. I have to keep the party going. Alright, suddenly behind. Oh, suddenly ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have the full juice here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full 8/8 status. This is fun. I have used all 3 of my removal spells, though. At least all of the ones that can hit Murktide Regent. I still have Brazen Borrower. But I've used all 3 of my black spells that are in the main deck. Ooh. Why'd you wait till second main? That's weird. Not interested in attacking me? Alright, Snuff Out is everywhere, it seems. This must be some new, like, breakout deck that I just wasn't aware of. Because this seems pretty cool. I mean, they can't really attack unless it's lethal at this point, because I have the ninjas that'll just bury them. Oh no. Expressive Iteration off the top. Yeah, this is where these Is It base decks just crush everyone else. We were having a good game, and now Expressive Iteration just gets to look at 3 cards, keep 2 of them, just dig through time. Snuff Out off the top. That's pretty good. I mean, that's actually fine, because if they kill Yuriko, I have a replacement copy in hand. Found Brainstorm and Snuff Out. And there's Ragavan. Okay, well, they can block my ninjas if they decide to snuff one out. Or just not using the Snuff Out, not attacking. They're playing the control deck over there. Seems like it's going to work for the most part. If I attack with both of these creatures, what happens? Like, if they block Yuriko with Murktide Regent, and they lose a creature to Infiltrator, but they have 3 card types. No, if I attack, yeah, I need to find something more clever than that before I can start attacking. Like, if they just block Yuriko with Murktide Regent, let Ragavan die, then this is active, they attack me for 7. I'm, like, very close to dead. And they keep drawing cantrips while I've drawn lands and redundant legends. I need a Brainstorm pretty bad here. Okay, they figured out they should be attacking. Regrettable. Right, come on, Brainstorm. Retrofitter Foundry is interesting. Alright. I'm gonna attack with my creatures. What do we got? It's blocking both. Nice. Okay, Foundry. I can't play a fetch land because I'm already dead. Alright, I'm just gonna pass. If they have Lightning Bolt, I lose. If they have Dashed Ragavan, I have that answered. They should waste my fetch land here, see if they can trick me into going to 4. If they have a second Murktide Regent, I lose. I'm dead to a lot of stuff here. Even if they have none of that, I don't exactly have them dead on board. I'm at 1. Can't Force of Will. Alright, yeah, they had the Bolt. Sure. Okay. Yeah, Expressive Iteration showed up, did its thing. Dragon's Rage Chandler was worth a lot of cards that game. Murktide Regent, powerful stuff. All right, we've seen this sideboard plan before. Just bringing in these spot removal spells for my Force of Wills. On the play, I'm going to keep my Dazes. On the draw, I'll switch one for a Flusterstorm. Don't think Narset's where I want to be. Like, she's really good if it happens, but is like really bad if we get into one of those scrappy games. Like Red Blast and Daze are just so good. I'm gonna pass on Narset for now. On the play, oh, I'm gonna keep this. It needs a blue source to go off with the Yuriko, but I have a parade of 4/4s right now. And being on the play means they have to force this if they're gonna interact with it. Please don't interact with it. Nice. Okay. Here's my 4/4s. I played out both Ornithopters because if I draw Island, I want to be able to pick one of them up. I'm going to construct one of them right away. Unless they just have the meltdown. They do not. Okay. I would very much like to draw an Island deck, please and thank you. Time. That even gives me the days if I find it. Alright, no love. It's okay. The other Ornithopter can stay back to block. Changeling Outcast can be another construct if I need it to be. Sure, that's fine. Setting yourself back a land when Meltdown is your out. I don't mind. Okay, they attacked. I'm just gonna block like this. I don't want to run into a Meltdown for 0 if I don't have to. I guess I would have killed it anyway. Yeah, I probably should have. Or no, they probably had bolt. Yeah, don't let myself get bolted. Sounds fine. Oh, we're all in on this. Hope they don't have Meltdown. They are dead on board. Emergency end-step brainstorm, trying to find some answers here. The bad news is, if they do have a Meltdown and find it, I'm dead. Okay, fetching. Oh, Murktide Regent also. Allowance this plan. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it would be a 6/6. Okay, bummer. That's also good. Thought we were doing well for a minute there. But a land. Alright, it's not a land, but it is another construct. I'm going to keep attacking. They can trade with one of them, go to 2 from the other, or just lose their whole board. Attacking before I play my Outcast, because if they do have Daze, I don't want them to get a Surveil off it. Okay, there's that. The 3/3 now. Ponder. Chose to shuffle. In the end step, here comes another construct. Just relentless pummeling. Oh my god. Now I have Daze up. Okay, in we go. Put them to 2. Cool. And I think I'd rather make a servo than ponder here. Okay, I'm gonna float blue and Daze. And then I can make a servo with my 2 mana. This was a big bet that you don't have Meltdown. Oh yeah. Just the game was just soloed by Retrofitter Foundry. That was stressful. I don't want to do that again, but that worked out pretty well. I'm gonna flip over to Flusterstorm now that I'm on the draw. Daze is a little worse. And let's do it. Alright, this is the best ninja hand I've had yet. It's Enabler, Blue Black, and Retrofitter Foundry. Keep it. Unfortunately, we're on the draw, which always makes everything worse. That's not a threat. I'll take it. They shuffled the ponder. It's good news. I love when they do that. I think after last game, they are likely to counter this if they can. Okay, they didn't. Too bad, I had 2 of them. This is the ideal start, because if they have removal for Ornithopter, I can Constructify it, and if they don't, I can Yuriko. I think they're digging for lands here. Like, shuffle ponder, then this brainstorm with no threat. I'm not going to flip here, because I do want to Yuriko them. This does play into Lightning Bolt and Red Blast, but it's okay. I get to just replay the Ornithopter for free and keep doing what I'm doing. Yep. Ace fetch, no surprise there at all. Here comes a removal spell of some variety. Yep. And Ornithopter's back. As crazy as it is, I would not fault anyone for force of willing that Ornithopter. We've seen that it is my only enabler, and it's representing a 4/4. That's a pretty good thing to not have in play. Just turbo out a Murktide here. Yeah, that's good. I'm just going to slow down in the face of this Murktide. I have answers to it. No need to panic. This can be basic swamp or basic island. Do I care? Just fetching basic swamp is a valuable thing to do. The second Retrofitter Foundry is always a delight. I'm going to fetch for swamp right now, because my plan is block, flip this into a construct, and then make a new servo. And then the foundries can overpower Murktide over the course of several turns. Passive Iteration, that's a good card. Underground Sea in exile. Right, I like this attack. I think somehow their play is probably just wait. And obviously I don't know what's in their hand, but just waiting seems like a reasonable thing they could have done there. If they had Meltdown, they would have cast it pre-combat to get their 6 damage in. Second main Ponder is cool. Now I get to punch for 5. I think this is the last turn they're going to untap, or they're going to attack for a while, now that they realize how this works. Alright, Snuff Out. That's the same 4 damage it was going to do if it attacked, so reasonable exchange for them. Attack for 1. I think I just want to Retrofitter Foundry this game right now. Like, none of my Murktide Regent would arrive as a 3/3. It's not big enough to tangle with anything. Plague Engineer. Okay, that sucks. I'm going to turn this into a Thopter, and then turn that into a Construct. Yeah, that was really good. So here's this now. They probably named Servo to keep my engine off the ground. Oh, they named Thopter. Okay, so they're trying to cheese through with Murktide. Yeah, naming Servo means that my Thopters don't get to come into play either. I think that was a mistake. Strix is pretty good. And my hand's not great. I need to answer this Murktide Regent, and then we're fine. Okay, deal. So if I want to attack with Construct, what happens? They probably just block with Strix. Am I okay with that? Alright, here's my attack. Strix blocks, you got it. And then bounce your Murktide. Gonna fetch for a basic right now. And it's still not time for Murktide Regent. It's still the 3/3. The Ninja deck is actually pretty bad at casting spells, all things considered. I can soak up 2 damage by blocking with a servo here, or I could make a servo and try to get a ninja through. I think I want to preserve my life total here. Or I could wait a turn and make... No, I can make 2 servos next turn anyway. The Murktide Regent can come back as a 6/6. I just bought 1 turn, avoiding that. Dragon Rage Chandelier. Okay. I'm extremely interested in Murderous Cut at this point. Right, they made it a 5/5. Just trying to give Dragon's Rage Chandelier a chance to exist. Ooh, that's good. Not a Thopter. Notably not a Thopter. Baleful Strix. Notably is a blue card, though. Okay, it resolved. A little surprised by that. This is a Thopter that doesn't care about their thing. I think Servo is still the best thing to make. Best way to spend my mana. Not interested in this 3/3 Murktide Regent. A braid targeting this. That works, regrettably. I have no effect for that. That turns on the Channeler. Taking a bunch of damage this turn. Now is the decision, do I want to get a ninja into play or not? Because I can save 2 more life with a servo, or I can wait until the end of turn. I think my life total matters a lot. I could also flip Ornithopter into a construct and just trade with Plague Engineer, but then I take 8 up front, just dead to Lightning Bolt. I don't think that's an option. Right, I'm just going to block the Murktide Regent and flip into a construct. Take my 5. Make a servo in the end step. In desperate need of brainstorm at this point. These ingenious infiltrators. Ninjas is not good at playing from behind. Okay, Fatal Push is not bad. There's some cool tricks that can be done here. I don't think I'm gonna... Oh, okay, so here's the play. I'm going to hold priority, sack my servo to make a Thopter. In response, Fatal Push, Plague Engineer, which I can now do because I have Revolt. And I get a Thopter, which can interact with Murktide Regent. and one. I can play Murktide Regent, which is big enough to block their Dragon's Rage Channeler at least. And I can attack for 4. Okay, that was pretty cool. And if their hand is like anything, this isn't good enough, but that was a good turn. They don't have good attacks right now unless they have spells to push them through. Lightning Bolt targeting that. Okay. I'll flip it into a construct. If they have another bolt, I lose. Or if they can answer Murktide Regent. Because now I have to block their Murktide with mine, and they get 3 damage through, guaranteed. They kept a card on top with Dragon's Rage Channeler, so that's got to be bad. Okay. Yep, GG's. That was an awesome game. Came down to a really cool turn on the last turn, but we played from behind for a little too long, and the life total didn't hold out. Awesome games, though. On to the next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round number 3 with an easy mulligan. No enabler for this, no way to find it, ship it. I'm going to keep this, even though it needs some help. Send a Yuriko to the bottom. Ideally, I want to ponder into Ornithopter Swamp, but I would take just some lands to be able to play the game. Ponder, Retrofitter Foundry, Swamp, Changeling Outcast. Yeah, that's really good. Foundry on the bottom. Outcast, Swamp, do not shuffle. Okay. Found an enabler. It's a turn 3 ninja instead of a turn 2 ninja, which is regrettable, but I have Force of Will to protect. Alright, I don't actually care about Thoughtseize here. Like, if they take Ponder, my next 2 draws are already set up anyway. Yeah, Force of Will makes a lot of sense there. Oh, it's the only unique card in the hand. Well, I'm going to Ponder now, actually, looking for another Force of Will, because they clearly cared about that, and found one immediately, so Amy. And they don't know what I just looked for. They don't know if I was looking for Outcast or looking for interaction, but I found it. I wonder if this is like Pox or some Storm deck. What's going on over there? Is it Turbo Depths? Like it's 2018? Or Bloom Apprentice. I can counter that. Yeah, I'm just going to counter that. It's a no from me, dog. This Turbo Bloom deck is also like a thing that exists in the format. And Witherbloom Apprentice has text on it, even when you are not comboing. Chain of Smog does not have text when you're not comboing. Get in here with the Yuriko, draw a card, another Yuriko, and now Yuriko's in play. Unfortunately, we don't have the land to redeploy Changeling Outcast on curve, which threatens the double Yuriko activation next turn. Uh-oh, do they just have the second round of the combo? Sedgemoor Witch, okay. That can block Yuriko pretty effectively. Forever. Not even temporarily. Looking for a removal spell here. No love. Okay, it's fine. Retrofitter Foundry is also a really good card. Changeling Outcast is unblockable. Yuriko triggers. Let's do it. Time to grind. So if they have the Chain of Smog here, they can make infinite pests. So it's not really infinite because this is Magic Online. It's just a lot of pests. They looked for a land. They found a land. Alright, well, there's Chain of Smog. Go ahead. Make a lot of pests. I'm not going to concede to this. Buried Alive. Okay, so they're also a Phoenix deck. This deck's pretty crazy. I'm going to let them make a bunch of pests, but I have an unblockable Yuriko thing. I can theoretically drain them out. Maybe. I guess it depends on how many pests they make. If they just make like 5 billion, then I have 1 turn to figure this out, which is not enough. So Plague Engineer is coming in, Surgical Extraction's coming in, Force of Negation probably coming in too. Like, we're definitely playing against a deck with multiple combos in it. I might have been able to race this if I had the land to stick Changeling Outcast last turn and connect with a Yuriko Drain and then threaten another one this turn. Just checking to see if the main deck has any outs to this. It does not. Postboard, I could Plague Engineer. Yeah. They stopped at 40 tokens. That should be enough to get the job done. Let's attack with Changeling Outcast. See what we can get done here. Trigger Yuriko. There's no 12 drops in the deck, unfortunately. Okay, another one of those. 40 is plenty, even if I block with all my creatures. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. The one good thing that came out of this game is that I'm convinced to buy a Chain of Smogs now. Not that I think that this deck is broken or that I'll actually ever play it, but the one-trick pony, like Turbo Witherbloom Smog decks, I think are kind of garbage. But this, like, Jund deck that's also a Phoenix deck and has Sedgemoor Witch for infinite tokens, like, this is pretty cool. It's cool enough that I probably want to own those cards just in case. Okay, so removal is good against their deck. Flusterstorm's good against their deck. Do I care about Surgical Extraction? I mean, they're clearly a Phoenix deck also. Like, that Buried Alive doesn't make a lot of sense otherwise. But Surgical is not really a good card in general. Worse Negation's also, like, kind of... Let's see what I can cut to make room for this. Like, Big Daddy Mercs, I think, can come out. Snuff Out destroys target non-black creature. That's not going to help me in this matchup. Everything I care about is black. We saw Dragon's Rage Channelers, and we can assume Phoenixes, but still, if I'm snuffing out Phoenixes, I've already lost. So those are some cuts. Brazen Borrower does break up the combo as well, which is all I really need it to do. Daze. Yeah, they're probably operating on pretty tight mana on their side. Can I cut a Retrofitter Foundry? Does that make any sense? That's just a grindy card for a matchup that doesn't seem like it's going to be grindy. Though it is also not necessarily a grindy card if just putting a parade of 4/4s on the combo deck is my plan to win the game. I could shave a Yuriko. That's still a lot of ninjas and reduces the chance I draw 2 legends. Though on the play, maybe I just really want to maximize my access to ninjas. Yeah, I need to find one more cut here. Maybe it is just Daze, I don't know. And they had Lotus Petal. They might also have the Spirit Guides in the deck. I mean, Fatal Push just looks really good. Maybe it is a Retrofitter Foundry. Might be heretical to cut a Foundry and a Yuriko, but I think I'll get away with it. Grafdigger's Cage has some appeal as well, but I think on the play I want to execute my plan as well as I can while still respecting theirs. On the draw, I might just settle into a much more defensive posture. Okay, this hand is both good and terrible at the same time. I am going to keep it though. I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp, which sucks. I wish this was a hand that could produce Underground Sea. I'd feel a lot better about that. But this puts pressure on. It has multiple ways to disrupt their combo. I'm extremely interested in drawing a blue land this turn. They just found Buried Alive. And I'm just going straight into 4/4 mode. I don't have a ninja in my hand or the mana to produce it. This is a Retrofitter Foundry game. Ugh. Back for 4. My Outcast in. In 2 4/4s beat 3 Phoenixes. Right? They attack me to 10. I attack them to 8. They attack me to 1. They're dead. Dark Ritual, there's 1 spell. 2. Alright. Oh wow, that's actually really good. They can flash back on one of the Phoenixes, and they probably name Force of Will here. I don't think they ever name Flusterstorm in their life. Name Surgical, yeah, that's fair. It's a safe bet. I would have countered Dark Ritual if I had Force of Will. But they are going to get some Phoenixes in, which, for the reasons I just described, I am currently winning that race. Unless they have a different combo, and this is not actually Phoenix. Oh, here come these jerks. They could just be on defense Phoenix. Just work their way through my constructs on D. That'll depend on how many spells they have available, though. The Cabal Therapy is an interesting fold. Do they think that they're gonna be more effective just having maximum damage on the board? Or are they gonna be more effective disrupting my hand in some way? It looks like they're just passing. Make a 4/4. Alright, Fetch Land was literally the best draw. Because that turns on Fatal Push while also being a spell. That's what I'm talking about. If I fetch, though, I'm dead to the Phoenixes. So this is a pretty tricky situation. If they have 2 other spells in hand, they can Cabal Therapy for a spell with the Phoenix, then go spell, Phoenix is back. They have a second Cabal Therapy. I'm pretty sure I'm just all the way dead. Alright, they moved into combat. Now I'm pretty safe from a lot of the worst things that could happen. Attacking with 1 Phoenix. I'll take it. And in the end step, I can fetch. Do I want to borrow a Phoenix? Like, I could Brazen borrow a Phoenix. Okay, they're just conceding. All right, they're not making me figure it out. But yeah, Fatal pushing a Phoenix. Oh yeah, I push one, borrow the other. Yeah, that's the line. Okay. Got there eventually. I'm glad they conceded and made it easy on me. Okay. Phoenixes are a thing that they have. And we already knew that, but now we extra know that. I don't love days on the draw. So having some critical mass of different ways to interact with their deck is pretty important. Do I want 2 Plague Engineers as if Sedgemoor Witch is a main plan in their deck, or do I just want 1 as an out to dig to? Should it become necessary? Is it better than Ingenious Infiltrator? And I'm cutting a lot of ninjas for someone who's also cutting a Retrofitter Foundry. This is a pretty weird situation. Maybe Baleful Strix is worse than Surgical Extraction as well. This is a really tough matchup to sideboard for. I think I'm going to submit this deck. The last things I'm considering is getting the 3rd Retrofitter Foundry or the Days back in, and one of the Plague Engineers would be the cut for that. I'm just going to submit this deck. Let's go. It's good deck building that my opponent has 2 different combos in their deck, and the deck also seems like it has a reasonable fair plan with the Dragon's Rage Channeler and Witherbloom Apprentice. They could just play spells and attack and win. This is a powerful Thoughtseize. They get to know exactly what they have to play around. My hand is 3 different answers, which check various boxes. And then the Outcast, of course, is just here too. I kept a super reactive hand, like I said I was willing to do on the draw. I'm going to get a Underground Sea. I have the land that can do that. I do have to set up my game plan a little bit. Like, if they're able to Witherbloom Apprentice plus chain this turn through a daze, then I deserve to lose. Thoughtseize taking Surgical is a pretty big sign that they're on Phoenix this game, though. Therapy. Bummer. Alright, what do you want to take? Probably the daze? Like, if they go Therapy, Dark Ritual, Phoenix, or Buried Alive, that's the Phoenixes. Yep, they took the daze. Maybe they just don't have Dark Ritual. LOL, no chance. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, you can't complain about this. I kept a hand with 2 different answers, and they were able to beat both of them on turn 2. Like, their deck is doing what it's supposed to do. I guess nope. Dazing Cabal Therapy doesn't even work, because then they just don't pay and execute their plan anyway. So I'm at 10. When I fetch, I go to 9. They attack me to 3. I don't see a great path forward in this game. I'm not literally dead, therefore I will keep playing. But it's not looking good. I guess I could draw Yuriko and do some, like, crazy machine gun business. But that's not even true, because I only get 2 triggers. It's not like I can't get Yuriko attacking and the Outcasts altogether. Yeah, pretty sure I don't have an out to the Phoenixes once they're in play. Alright, I fetch, get a basic swamp, fatal push one of these, then I go to 3, I'm dead to everything. Ordered out the Murktide Regent, so I don't even have a 7 I could hit off Yuriko. Oh, look who's here. Alright, that'll show him. Alright, yeah, I got beat by that, for sure. They just had 2 Thoughtseizes into the combo, so you're not going to beat those hands, is what it is. Here comes the next round. It's the 4th round, and I have a great ninja hand. I'm going to keep it. I have the Enabler and the turn 2 with protection. This is what you want. Let's see if it works. Opponent's over there mulling to 5. Wonder if we're playing against Oops All Spells. Okay, it's not Oops All Spells, but it is a deck that goes fast. I have Underground Sea already. I'm going to get Basic Swamp. Just make sure I don't get wasted. The Sajiri Step decks usually have Wasteland in them. Opponent is a fan of the channel. Thank you, Sir Jorn. They said they just played against Phil in this league as well. At Thraben University. Go check out my colleague Phil if you aren't watching him as well. Prismatic Ending. This is the type of thing I want to fight over. It's okay to spew cards in this matchup because you are going to recoup them anyway with your ninjas. I'm going to continue to play on basics because I can. Get in with my ninja, make this start happening. They do seem to have a pretty quick Merit Lage with protection. Like, the potential is here. And they did mull to 5. So it's nice to get in there. So I'm going to have to deal with a Merit Lage at some point. My hand also isn't well set up to just beat Knight of the Reliquary straight up at this point. I'm going to try to brainstorm into Yuriko and really go off. Days, obviously, always welcome. Against the opponent who mulled to 5 and missed a bunch of land drops. Okay, well, there's Yuriko. Let's see if they block. Is CF Keeper part of their plan? Oh, wow. Obliterated. I'm just going to play on basics at this point. Like, they're a Wasteland deck. Don't give them any window to get back in this game. Here's the first Crazy Ninja, 4 triggers. It doesn't really matter what order I place them in because I'm tapped out, but you generally want to draw cards first with the Infiltrator in case you draw Brainstorm. That lets you set up a more degenerate Yuriko. But it didn't matter in that particular spot. And now I have Force and Days against the opponent, who is basically dead. Ox Diamond. Alright, the race is on. Discarding Wasteland. Played around it perfectly. 1 card left in their hand. Whatever it is, it's countered. Well, they did a good job playing around Days, but I had the Force also. That'll do. Alright, finally just unloaded Ninja style on an opponent who was not ready for it. This matchup's probably kind of tough, though. I'm not really good at answering a Merit Lage. Like, I have Brazen Borrower, and I have a number of ways to chump block it. Grafdigger's Cage does turn off Green Sun Zenith, which is an important part of their plan. Fatal Push hits most of the things in their deck. I don't think I want Plague Engineer. They are a choke deck, which is something that I should pay attention to. Back to Basics is like okay against some of their draws and embarrassing against others. I think I do want it though. Just being able to cheese them back will be pretty important. If they're threatening choke, I want to threaten Back to Basics as well. I like Force of Will better than Flusterstorm because a lot of their things I really care about are creatures. And all the black removal is good here. What's bad? I think it might be Days on the draw, especially against the Mox Diamond deck. And in Murktide Region is pretty good. They're a Karakas deck, so I could shave a Yuriko. Not only a Karakas deck, but they're a deck that's very good at finding Karakas when they want it. Maybe I just do this. There could be some argument for Narset because they're also a pretty dedicated Sylvan Library deck. But my deck doesn't accelerate. So by the time Narset would arrive, especially on the draw, Library's already done what it's going to do. I could work in this Grafdigger's Cage. That's like the last consideration. No, I'm in. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to keep this. I can ponder for Ninja or land, and I'm on the draw. I have Ornithopter, which means that I can set up a turn 2, even if I do have to ponder. It looks like have to ponder confirmed. We're looking for like Swamp Ninja off this ponder. Swamp Ninja off this ponder confirmed. Not shuffle. Play Ornithopter. And we're in there. Turn 2 Ninja with Force backup. Hope it's good. Does this make Merit Lage? I'm gonna have to counter the crop rotation. Ending. Is this something I want to fight over? No, I think I want to take my time here. Because I have the outcasts. Like I can outcast, ponder, and just keep moving this game forward. Another Force of Will. I don't think I want another Force of Will. I will take another ponder though. And get my outcast in. I didn't want a Force of Will to protect, like last game I forced to protect my creature, which was, it was because I was on the play and they weren't threatening Merit Lage. Like they're a crop rotation away from winning the game, and that's not something that I want to indulge. I can connect with Yuriko guaranteed right now, or I can Ponder, try to hit a second blue source, and advance the game more. I'm going to go for that. Play to win. Yep, got there. Okay. Ingenious Infiltrator, Prismatic Vista, not shuffle. Shuffle that away. Here comes Yuriko. They might have Swords to Plowshares. If they do, it's fine. So they seemed pretty keen on removing my enabler earlier. It would be like kind of strange to wait and fight over my payoff now. So, I mean, it's also fine. Am I dead to crop rotation? So if they make green off Windswept Heath, sack it, get Dark Depths. Depths, you have a Maya copy stage. I am dead to crop rotation here. So I am going to let this resolve. I have a lot of gas still in the tank. I just don't want to literally lose the game. Basic Plains is in play. Another Basic Plains is in play. Okay. Sure. That plays around back to basics a little bit. Plays around Wasteland, which is not a card in my deck, but it's a card people love to play around. Okay, another Ninja, another Enabler, and a land. I think I want the Ninja on top, Ornithopter in hand, not shuffle, play Ornithopter, play Changeling Outcast. This lets me draw 2 cards next turn, as the Thopter can get picked up by the Infiltrator, and then it leaves a Ninja in play to still connect. I think at this point it's a safe bet that they don't have crop rotation in their hand. It doesn't mean they can't draw it. That's kind of unfortunate because I would like to remove it. My top card is Island. I think I should just kill this thing. Just be safe. Take this out. They have 1 card left in their hand. Attack for 1. Because they have the stage in play. Like I can't just let them untap with a crop rotation on board that I could have answered. I've played this whole game not to get crop rotationed, and that counts as crop rotation. Now I draw this island. I'm not going to play it yet, because if I draw swamp, I'd probably rather diversify my holdings. Here's the Ninja. Draw 2. 1, 2. Nice. Then I'm going to get basic swamp. Play my 3rd Ninja. Play Ornithopter in case I draw another Ninja to enable everybody. And now I have a repeatable Ancestral Recall in play, backed up by Force of Will. Looks like they're sort of treading water over there. Hey. That's that thing I said I was playing towards. Always play to your outs. You ever seen someone draw 8 cards through combat? That's about to happen. Put my deck in my hand, no big deal. 8 draw. My opponent said GG's. Yeah, opponent packed it up to the draw 8. They know what's going on here. Awesome Ninja game. On to the final round. On the draw in the final round. Playing for that positive record. And I have the turn 2 Ninja with backup. Let's do it. Shamer on the draw. As usual, tempo deck. Would rather be on the play. Welcome to Magic the Gathering. One sort of softness of this hand, though, is that my only black sources available are Underground Sea, because this is Scalding Tarn. It's not Vista or Delta. And the black source in my hand is just literally already Underground Sea. So I'm playing into Wasteland either way. And if I daze, it slows down my Ninja too. Force of Will is a good one to find. And my opponent led on Tundra, which makes me feel a lot better about just jamming into Wasteland here. Okay, they're a Tundra Daze deck. I'm not actually going to fight over this. I'm playing against Claudio Bonanni, who won the GP Lille in 2015, the Legacy GP. Powerful opponent for the final round. Claudio has some sort of Tundra Daze deck. This could be a blue-white Omni Show deck, or it could be some sort of weird tempo deck. Could be like a Mentor tempo deck. I don't know. I'm going to ponder looking for another enabler, though. I'll take the second ponder. Do I want the second ponder? Yeah, I'll take it. Second ponder. And then I'm going to get my other Underground Sea and ponder again. I'm starting to approach the hardcast ninja phase of the game. Don't want these cards. Shuffle that. Okay, I can cast Yuriko next turn, just straight up. And I have Force and Dazed interact along the way. Yeah, I'll just play my lady. Brainstorm in response, you got it. Now we're at a point where I'm pretty fine dazing. Like if they plow in the end step, I'm going to daze it so fast. And this is definitely a situation where you want to untap and plow to play around daze. All of my opponents so far today have played around daze pretty well, whether they needed to or not. Okay, they're a Jeskai deck. Alright, sure. 3 card types in the graveyard. If their last card in hand is, or their last spell for the turn is plow, I can move that or daze it. What I need to be careful of is them surveilling an additional type of thing into their graveyard. Like if they could like brainstorm, surveil Ragavan into the graveyard here and just block, that's actually devastating. Force of negation. All right, let's see what they got here. Force pitched what? Force pitched force. Okay. I'm gonna attack. All right. Don't do it to me. Okay, Yuriko triggers on the stack. Now I'm gonna brainstorm again. See if I can dome them for 5 with this Force of Will. Oh, even better, the Murderous Cut, because I'm about to cast that. So I'll put Infiltrator, Murderous Cut on top. Take 5 from Murderous Cut. Ornithopters here, set up to blast the Infiltrator into play next turn. Do I let them untap? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let them go ahead and play their spells, because if they have like Murktide Region or something I'm more worried about, I want to save the cut. Looks like I'll reveal the hand. The 4 lands. Harsh. I have the opposite of that. I have 5 spells. Okay, so we're against some sort of Jeskai tempo deck. I don't know if I should expect Monastery Mentor out of this deck. I should definitely expect Ragavan. Jeskai tempo is not as interesting as I originally thought it was going to be. I think I got tricked by the Tundra Days start into thinking this was something unique, but Jeskai tempo is just like the best deck in Legacy. Like it is honestly just like it might have Saga, might not, might have Predict, might have Standstill. Like this is just probably Jeskai Saga Van, which is totally a Days deck. So I should board accordingly. Back to Basics is a banger in this matchup. Narset might be good. Again, we're playing against a deck with Daze and Red Blast, but it's a deck that might want to grind a little more than normal. I'm pretty sure I don't want Force of Will in the deck at all. I think I want 1 Back to Basics. Like, it's not that good, and it's easy to remove, and it's kind of clunky. Like, this is a card that once I'm ahead, I want to slam on the board. Is that even true? Like, okay, let's take a bird's eye view of this macro plan, where I want to bury them in card advantage. I'm not trying to lock them out. Like, this isn't Bant control. This is Ninjas. I don't think Back to Basics is actually part of the plan. Like, I want to just be ahead and stay ahead. So I'm off Back to Basics. Change my mind on that one. I do like Flusterstorm. Daze is a lot worse on the draw. The other Flusterstorm can come in. And do I want Narset? Probably not. Is she better than Murktide Regent? Probably not. Is it better than the fun of Daze? Do I want 1 Daze still in my deck? Probably. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. That's a lot of 3-drops and stuff. So Narset's really good. Alright, I'm gonna try Narset. Let's do this thing. Might be a mistake. I don't know. I want to see more of their deck. This hand is pretty good. I just need to ponder into a black source, and then I'm set up for ninjaing. Alright, we're down with DRC. Ponder, see if this gets aggressively dazed. It did not. Wow. Alright, no lands. That's a shuffle. Got some concerns here. This hand needs a black source desperately. Ponder betrayed me. I kept Island Ponder. That's what you do. Island Ponder keep. It's a rule. It's written on the stone tablet handed down by Richard Garfield. And it didn't work. Do you attack? Nope. Alright. Swamp. Swamp. Ah, had it the whole time. Don't worry about it. I'm going to start with Infiltrator because I care about it less. Like if one of these sticks and one of them gets answered, then I want the one that sticks to be Yuriko. They could stifle the ninjutsu, but that's a 1 for 0. Looks like a Pyroblast. Or a Lightning Bolt, sure. Yep, Bolt resolves. Ornithopter connects. Take it. And Ornithopter's back. This Dragon's Rage Channeler is a card type away from being Delirious. Which, if it becomes such, I'll have to spend a turn pushing it. Which means I need to draw another swamp. If this is Murktide Regent, we're just in a lot of trouble. Another Brainstorm, okay. Leaving up white instead of red. So that's telling me something that I need to be playing around the white removal, not the red removal. Alright, Dragon Rage Channeler has to attack, which is actually bad for them here. Because I want a clear runway to get in with. Days or I know boarded all those cards out. No good draws here. I'll take that swamp though. That's the Fatal Push Enabler we were looking for. Still gonna lead on the one I'm less interested in. Okay, cool. It's in there. Do I play around Days or do I just cast my spell? I think I'm gonna hold back. Like, I'm not actually worried about this Dragon's Rage Channeler right now. It's getting a lot of card selection, of course, but it functionally can't block, which is very important to me right now. Aggressive Iteration, sure. Mill to land. Where's the Plowshares in the Exile Zone? White Source is currently tapped. Alright, they do have another one. Here's the Plow. I gain some life. It's all good. That connects. Has to fight. Still not acknowledging it. And let's go to my turn. Another Ornithopter. Alright. Ornithopter Storm is 3. Again, baiting with the less important one. And getting the card is the important thing either way. So it's not like it's bad or whatever. It's just like one of these things can win the game through damage on its own, and the other needs some help. This has to fight. Still not going to block, because if they play 1 second main, that's the one I want to kill. Do I need to acknowledge this at all? Yeah, I'll test them in the end step. I'm playing around Days, which is the card I was worried about. If they force this or spend a real spell on it, I'm fine with that situation. This kind of encourages them to cast any spells they might have to get the extra Surveil. Like if they really are just bleeding out to my board right now. Oh wow, that's a good one. And here's Yuriko, leaving back one of the Ornithopters. Whew. Okay. Here we go. Draw, draw. I'm actually just gonna protect myself. I don't need to set up a crazy aggro brainstorm with Yuriko on this turn. Having that blue blast up seems pretty important. There was a bug for a long time too, where Yuriko would shuffle your deck after one activation. Like if I brainstorm Force of Will to the top with 2 Yuriko triggers, my opponent would take 5 from the first force, and then a random card would flip for the second. I don't know if they fixed that bug, but it is pretty relevant to playing this deck. CRC. That's fine. Looks like a Murky Rage. I'm going to brainstorm in response to this. See what we can come up with. I'm holding Brazen Borrower. I just want to see if we can get some sort of game played here. Brazen Borrower is great. Yuriko sucks. And I don't need this Brainstorm either. Okay, that resolves. And then in the end step, I can cast one of these Hydroblasts because I have several. Maybe I fucked up. I was supposed to untap. Yeah, I just exposed my creatures to removal. Right, I'm going to untap. I don't need to take any dramatic action here. Be patient, and you will win the game. Hydroblast, this. I'm just building Flusterstorm, not that it's necessary. Petty Theft, this. Now I have Flusterstorm available. This wall of Ornithopters just overpowering Murktide Regent anyway. And they packed it up. They've seen enough. GG's, nailed that positive record with Ninjas. What happened in this league? So we played against 3 Expressive Iteration tempo decks. We went 2-1 against them. Lost to the combo deck we played against and beat the green-white depths that mull to 5. This deck is really good at overpowering fair decks, and it's pretty medium at disrupting unfair decks, which, as you can see from the sideboard, there's just like a million things for combo. A couple acknowledgements of fair decks like Plague Engineer and Fatal Push and Narset, but even Narset's good against combo. So this is basically a 14 card sideboard for combo decks, and the main deck should be pretty good against creature decks. We saw the Ninja thing happen a few times. We saw the Retrofitter Foundry just solo game. Like, I won that one game with one land, like one basic swamp the whole game, and it just was responsible for like 16 power between the Ornithopters and Changeling Outcasts. We got a pretty good sampling of what this deck's about, and lost to the combo matchup, and lost, just like hit normal distribution against the Expressive Iteration tempo decks. Went 2-1 against those. The loss was close, and Ninja's still dope. You could still play this deck. I love the snuff out technology. That was really good every time we drew it. Murktide Regent as a one of. This came up so many times as a one of. I think we cast more Murktide Regents than Baleful Strixes this league somehow. I don't know. It definitely came up a lot, and it was really good. So this seems like a good way to build Ninjas in the main deck. Tune your sideboard for your expected combo metagame. You really do want to beat your combo decks out of the board because the main deck's pretty bad at it. And this is pretty sweet. This was fun to revisit. I don't have a lot of things to debrief about this because we saw the deck do its thing. If you enjoyed watching this, I think I have like 4 or 5 Ninja videos back on the channel. Just scroll through them or search for BoshNRoll Ninjas. I had a run where I think I was like 23-2 or something on camera. I just like trophied 3 or 4 times in a row with Ninjas. It was pretty great. If you like this, there's lots more content. The deck hasn't changed that much, so go ahead and check it out. And this was great. Thank you all for watching. Hunter, thanks for cutting me loose to play some Ninjas. I hope it was fun for everyone to watch as it was for me to play. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe this video. And if you want to support the channel more, if you want me to play decks for you, like Hunter did for this league, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership options. Join the Discord community. That's all there in the links in the video description. Thank you all for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.